Why nobody respects you until you learn this. Listen carefully. This may hurt a little, but it will change your life. Respect is not missing from your life by accident. It is missing for a reason. And that reason is not other people. It is you. Not because you are bad, not because you are weak, but because you have not learned the rules yet. Nobody teaches this in school. Nobody explains it clearly. So most people spend years feeling ignored, undervalued, invisible. They try harder. They speak louder. They become nicer. They give more. And still, nothing changes. Why? Because respect does not come from effort alone. It comes from alignment, from how you see yourself, from how you treat your own life, from what you allow, from what you refuse. Let's start with a simple truth. People treat you the way you teach them to treat you, not with words, but with behavior. Every small action, every reaction, every silence, every yes when you want to say no. You are training people. You are showing them your value without realizing it. Imagine this. You're in a conversation. Someone interrupts you. You stop talking. You smile. You let it go. What just happened? You sent a message. My voice is not important. Now imagine this. Same situation. Someone interrupts you. You pause. You look at them. You say calmly, let me finish. Everything changes. Same person, same room, different energy, different result. Respect starts there. Not in big moments, in small ones, in quiet ones, in daily ones. Most people lose respect in silence, not because others are stronger, but because they allow too much, they accept too much, they tolerate too much. They think being kind means being soft. They think being good means always agreeing. They avoid conflict keeps peace, but it doesn't. It destroys respect. Slowly, quietly, completely. Here is another truth. Being liked is easy. Being respected is hard. Being liked means you fit in. You agree. You smile. You avoid tension. You make people comfortable. Being respected means something else. You stand your ground. You speak truth. You accept discomfort. You protect your values. And here's the problem. You cannot have both all the time. If you try to make everyone happy, you will lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, people feel it. They sense it. They may like you, but they will not respect you. Respect is built on strength, not noise, not aggression, not ego, but quiet strength, calm strength, clear strength. Let's go deeper. Why do people ignore some people? Why do they talk over them? Why do they dismiss their ideas? It is not always about intelligence. It is not always about status. It is about presence, energy, signal. When you walk into a room, you say something without speaking. Your body speaks. Your eyes speak. Your posture speaks. Your silence speaks. If you look down, if you avoid eye contact, if you move nervously, if you speak unsure, you send one message. I am not sure about myself. And people respond to that, not consciously, but naturally. They take the lead. They take space. They take control. Now imagine the opposite. You walk in slowly. You stand straight. You look people in the eye. You speak clearly. You pause when needed. You do not rush. You do not chase attention. You hold your space. Now the message is different. I know who I am. And again, people respond. Respect begins with self-respect. If you do not respect your time, why should others? If you break your own promises, why should others trust you? If you ignore your own needs, why should others care? Everything starts inside. You cannot fake it for long. You cannot pretend forever. People see patterns. They feel consistency. They watch behavior. Let's talk about promises. You say you will wake up early. You don't. You say you will work hard. You delay. You say you will change. You repeat the same habits. What happens? You lose trust in yourself. And slowly, you lose respect for yourself. And when you lose self-respect, it shows in your voice, in your choices, in your energy. And others feel it. They follow that signal. They lower their respect. Not because they hate you, but because you showed them how. Now listen, this is powerful. Respect is not something you ask for. It is something you build, brick by brick, action by action, day by day. You cannot demand it. You cannot force it. If you try, you get fear, not respect. And fear is weak. It disappears fast. The moment power is gone. Real respect stays. Even when you are not in the room, even when you are silent, even when you do nothing, because it is built on who you are, not what you say. Let's talk about something most people avoid: boundaries. This is where respect is won or lost.
If you let people waste your time, they will continue. If you let people disrespect you, they will repeat it. If you let people cross your line, they will move the line again and again until there is no line left. And then you ask, why do people treat me like this? But the truth is hard. You allowed it. Not once, but many times. And each time you made it normal. Setting boundaries is not rude. It is clear. It is honest. It is necessary. You are not pushing people away. You are showing them where you stand. You are saying, this is okay. This is not. And people respect clarity, even if they don't like it at first. They adjust. They learn. They adapt. Because now there is structure. There is strength. There is direction. Most people avoid this because they fear rejection. They fear conflict. They fear being disliked. But think about this. If someone only stays in your life because you are easy to control, is that respect or is that convenience? You do not need more people who use you. You need people who value you. And value comes from standards, from limits, from discipline. Let's talk about discipline. This is where most people fail, not because they are lazy, but because they are inconsistent. They start strong. They stop quickly. They promise big. They deliver small. And people notice. Over time, they stop believing, not because they are negative, but because they see the pattern. Respect is built on consistency, not intensity. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be reliable. If you say something, do it. If you start something, finish it. If you commit, stay committed, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard.
Because that is where respect is built. In difficult moments, not easy ones. Anyone can act strong once. Few can stay strong daily. That is the difference. That is what people respect. Now, let's address another mistake: talking too much, explaining too much, trying too hard. When you talk too much, you lose power. When you explain everything, you look unsure. When you try to prove yourself, you lower your value. Respect grows in silence, in control, in calm presence. You do not need to fill every space. You do not need to answer instantly. You do not need to react to everything. Pause. Think. Then speak. And when you speak, be clear. Be simple. Be direct. People listen more. They pay attention because your words are rare, and rare things are valuable.
Now think about this. Who do you respect? The loud person or the calm one? The one who argues or the one who stays composed? The one who reacts fast or the one who responds wisely? The answer is clear. Respect follows control, not chaos. And control starts within, your emotions, your reactions, your impulses. If someone insults you and you explode, you lose, even if you are right. If someone challenges you and you stay calm, you win, even without speaking much. Because people are watching, always. They may not say it, but they see it, they measure it, they remember it. Respect is silent, but powerful. Now, let's close this part with a truth you must remember. You are not disrespected because people are against you. You are disrespected because you have not set your standard yet. Once you set it, everything changes. Not instantly, but gradually. People adjust, situations shift, energy transforms, and you feel it. Inside first, then outside. Part 2. The hidden behaviors that make people respect you without asking. Now you understand something important. Respect starts with you, but that is only the beginning. Because knowing is not enough. You must become different. You must act different. You must live different. This is where most people fail. They understand the idea, but they do not change the behavior. And without behavior, nothing changes. In this part, you will learn the hidden behaviors, the quiet habits, the small actions that make people respect you without you asking, without you forcing, without you chasing. Let's begin with something powerful: value. People respect value, always, in every place, in every culture, in every situation. If you bring value, you are respected. If you take value without giving, you are tolerated, then ignored, then replaced. It is simple, but many people ignore this. They want respect, but they do not ask, what value do I bring? Think about your daily life. At work, do you solve problems or do you complain? Do you improve things or do you wait for others? Do you take responsibility or do you avoid it? These small choices matter. They build your image. They shape your reputation. Now think about friendships. Are you someone who listens or only talks? Do you support others or only appear when you need something? Do you keep secrets or share gossip? Again, value. Always value. People respect those who make their life better, not harder, not heavier, better.
You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be the best. But you must be useful, helpful, reliable. This creates respect, naturally. Now let's go deeper. There is something stronger than value: courage. Most people avoid courage because it is uncomfortable, because it is risky, because it is hard. But courage is the fastest way to earn respect. Why? Because it is rare, very rare. Look around you. How many people speak the truth? How many people stand alone? How many people say no when it matters? Not many. Most people follow. Most people stay quiet. Most people choose comfort. That is why courage stands out. Imagine this. Everyone agrees with something wrong. They stay silent. They avoid conflict. Then one person speaks, calmly, clearly, honestly. That person is respected, even if others disagree, even if others feel uncomfortable. Because deep inside, people respect truth. They respect honesty. They respect strength. Courage is not loud. It is not aggressive. It is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is steady. It is controlled. It is doing the right thing when it is difficult, when it is scary, when it is unpopular. That is courage, and that builds deep respect. Now let's talk about another hidden behavior: doing what you say. This sounds simple, but it is powerful, very powerful. Most people talk,
few people act. Most people promise, few people deliver. And people remember this. If you say, I will do it, then do it. If you say, I will be there, then be there. If you say, I will change, then change. No excuses, no delays, no stories, just action. Over time, people stop listening to words. They watch actions. And when your actions match your words, respect grows, slowly but strongly. This is called integrity, and it is one of the strongest forces in life. Without integrity, nothing lasts. You can be smart, you can be talented, you can be successful, but without integrity, you lose respect. Eventually, always. Now think about someone you trust. Why do you trust them? Because they are consistent, because they are honest, because they do what they say. That is integrity. It is not loud, it is not flashy, but it is powerful. Now let's move to something subtle but important: emotional control. This is where many people lose respect, not because they are bad, but because they react too fast, too strong, too emotional. Someone says something negative, they explode. Someone disagrees, they argue. Something goes wrong, they complain, again and again and again. What happens? People start to see them as unstable, unpredictable, difficult, and slowly respect goes down. Now, imagine a different person. Same situation, same pressure, same problem, but they stay calm. They listen. They pause. They respond slowly. They choose words carefully. They do not react. They respond. That person is respected. Why? Because control is power. When you control your emotions, you control your image, your energy, your presence. People trust calm people. They feel safe around them. They listen to them. Because calm means strength, not weakness, never weakness. Now, let's talk about something deeper. Silence. Silence is misunderstood. Many people think silence is weakness. It is not. Silence is control. Silence is confidence. Silence is power. When you speak less, people listen more. When you pause, people pay attention. When you do not rush to answer, you show control. Think about wise people, leaders, mentors, strong individuals. Do they talk all the time? No, they observe, they listen, they think, then they speak. And when they speak, it matters. Every word has weight. Now compare this to someone who talks all the time, interrupts, explains everything, tries to win every conversation. What happens? People stop listening. They lose interest. They lose respect. Because too many words show insecurity, not strength. So learn this habit. Pause before speaking. Think before reacting. Speak with purpose, not just to fill silence. Now let's go deeper again. There is something many people ignore: appearance. Not fashion, not expensive clothes, but how you present yourself. Clean, simple, organized, focused. Your appearance sends a message before you speak, before you act, before you explain. People see you, and they decide, not fully, but quickly, if you look careless, disorganized, unfocused. People assume something, right or wrong, it happens. But if you look sharp, calm, put together, people respond differently. This is not about money. It is about effort, about care, about respect for yourself. And when you respect yourself, others notice. Now, let's connect everything: value, courage, integrity, emotional control, silence, appearance. These are not separate. They work together. They build your presence, your identity, your reputation. Respect is not one action. It is a system, a lifestyle, a pattern, repeated daily. Now here is something important. Respect takes time. Do not expect instant change. Do not expect quick results. People need to see consistency. They need to feel stability. They need to trust the pattern. So be patient, but be serious.
Change your behavior, not just your thoughts. Now let's talk about a hidden trap, trying to prove yourself. Many people do this. They try to show how smart they are, how strong they are, how successful they are. They talk about it, they explain it, they push it, and this reduces respect. Why? Because real strength is quiet. Real confidence does not need proof. Real value is visible, without words. Instead of proving, focus on becoming. Instead of talking, focus on doing. Instead of showing, focus on building. And people will see, naturally. Now think about this. Who do you respect more? Someone who says, "I am successful," or someone who shows it without saying anything? The answer is clear, always. Now here is another powerful behavior. Saying less but meaning more. Do not use many words. Use clear words, direct words, honest words. Avoid unnecessary explanation. Avoid long excuses. Avoid weak language. Say what you mean what you say. This builds authority. This builds clarity. This builds respect. Now let's bring everything together. Respect is not about one big moment. It is about many small moments, gaily, quiet, consistent. How you speak, how you walk, how you respond, how you decide, how you treat others, how you treat yourself. Everything matters. Everything counts. Everything builds or destroys. So choose carefully. Now ask yourself, do I bring value? Do I act with courage? Do I keep my word? Do I control my emotions? Do I speak with purpose? Do I live with integrity? If the answer is no, that's okay, because now you see it, and when you see it, you can change it. Slowly, step by step, action by action. Part 3. Become the kind of person who is respected everywhere. Now you see the truth. Respect is not magic. It is not luck. It is not something only a few people get. It is built, slowly, daily, by anyone who chooses it. And now you're ready for the final step, becoming the kind of person who is respected everywhere. Not sometimes, not only in certain places, but everywhere, with anyone, in any situation. This is not about acting. This is not about pretending. This is about identity. Who you are when nobody is watching, when nobody is judging, when nobody is helping. This is where real respect is born. Let's begin with the foundation, discipline. Discipline is everything. Not motivation, not talent, not luck. Discipline. Because motivation comes and goes, feelings change, energy rises and falls, but discipline stays if you build it.
Discipline means doing what must be done, even when you do not feel like it, even when it is boring, even when it is hard, even when nobody sees it. This is where most people fail. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel inspired. They wait for the perfect moment. But that moment never comes. So they stay the same, year after year. But disciplined people are different. They act anyway. They move anyway. They work anyway. They improve anyway. Day by day, step by step. And over time, they become strong. Not just outside, but inside. And people feel that strength. They respect it because it is real. Not fake, not temporary. Real. Now think about your daily life. Do you wake up when you say you will? Do you finish what you start? Do you do the hard things first? Or do you delay, avoid, escape? These small choices matter. They shape your identity. They build your reputation, not only in the eyes of others, but in your own mind. And remember, self-respect comes first. If you cannot trust yourself, nobody else will. So start small. Wake up on time. Do your work. Keep your promises. Control your habits. One action at a time. This builds discipline.
and discipline builds respect. Now let's go deeper. There is something even stronger than discipline: integrity. Integrity is your core, your center, your truth. It means doing the right thing, even when it costs you, even when it is difficult, even when nobody knows. Many people lose respect here. They take shortcuts, they lie, they cheat, they hide. They think they win, but they lose something deeper: trust. And once trust is gone, respect disappears. Fast. Think about this. Would you respect someone who lies? Would you trust someone who breaks promises? Would you follow someone who changes values? No, never. Because without integrity, nothing is stable. Nothing is real. So protect it at all costs. Say the truth, keep your word, stand by your values, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it is lonely. Because in the long run, integrity always wins. Now let's talk about something powerful: long-term respect. Many people want quick results, quick success, quick respect. But real respect is slow. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes consistency. You cannot build it in one day, but you can destroy it in one moment. So be careful. Every action matters. Every choice counts.
Respect is like a building. You build it brick by brick, day by day, action by action. Each promise kept, a brick. Each act of discipline, a brick. Each moment of honesty, a brick. Over time, it becomes strong, stable, unshakable. But if you lie, break promises, lose control, you remove bricks, and slowly the structure weakens. So be aware, build more than you destroy, always. Now let's talk about something deeper: identity. You do not rise to your goals, you fall to your habits, and your habits create your identity. If you act disciplined, you become disciplined. If you act honest, you become honest. If you act strong, you become strong. So stop saying, "I want respect." Start saying, "I am becoming someone who deserves respect," and then prove it with actions, daily. Now let's talk about service. This is the highest level. Many people think respect comes from power, from control, from dominance. But real respect comes from contribution, from helping others, from making life better. When you serve without expecting, without asking, without showing off, people feel it. They remember it. They respect it. Service is not weakness. It is strength, because it requires patience, discipline, humility, and care. Think about people you admire: teachers, mentors, leaders. They give, they guide, they support, and that is why they are respected. Not because they take, but because they give. So look for ways to help every day. Small actions, simple actions, real actions. Listen to someone, support someone, teach someone, guide someone. These moments matter. They build your character, and your character builds your respect. Now let's go deeper again. Emotional strength. Life will test you again and again. Problems, stress, failure, rejection, conflict. You cannot avoid it, but you can control your response. Weak people react. Strong people respond. Weak people complain. Strong people adapt. Weak people blame. Strong people take responsibility. This is the difference, and people see it, always. When things go wrong, stay calm, think clearly, act wisely. Do not let emotions control you. Use them, understand them, but do not follow them blindly. This creates stability, and stability creates trust, and trust creates respect. Now let's talk about presence, your energy, your behavior.
your attitude. When you enter a room, do you bring chaos or calm? Do you bring negativity or clarity? Do you bring problems or solutions? People feel this, even without words. So become someone who brings value, who brings focus, who brings strength, not noise, not confusion, not drama. Because people respect stability. They trust it. They rely on it. Now let's talk about patience. This is important, very important. Respect takes time. Do not rush it. Do not force it. Do not chase it. Build yourself. Improve daily. Stay consistent and let time do its work. Because real respect is earned slowly, but once it is earned, it stays long, strong, deep. Now think about your journey. Where are you now? What are your habits? What are your standards? What are your actions? Be honest, not emotional, not defensive, honest. Because awareness is the first step. Now ask yourself, what must I change? What must I stop? What must I start? And then act. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Small steps, daily steps, consistent steps. That is the path. Now let's bring everything together. Respect starts with self-respect. It grows with discipline. It is protected by integrity. It is shown through actions. It is strengthened by courage. It is expressed through calmness. It is multiplied by service. And it is built daily, always daily. This is the system. Simple, but not easy. But you can do it. Anyone can, if they choose. Now remember this. You do not need to ask for respect. You do not need to demand it. You do not need to chase it. Become it, live it, show it, and people will feel it. They will see it. They will respond to it, naturally, without words, without effort, without force. That is real respect. And now it is your turn. Start today, not with big changes, but with small ones. Keep your word, control your emotions, set your boundaries, speak with purpose, act with discipline, live with integrity, help others, stay consistent, and watch what happens, slowly, quietly, powerfully. Your life will change. Your presence will change. Your relationships will change. And one day, you will notice something. People listen. People trust. People respect. Not because you asked, but because you became someone who deserves it.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Self-Study Every Day for more helpful lessons. Leave a comment and tell me what you want to learn next.